Hi, I'm Cal Warriner from the law firm of Searcy Denny. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about figuring out exactly what kind of implant you have in your body. Over the past couple of months, we have had an opportunity to talk to a lot of folks who had hip implant failures. Many already had revisions, and for others a revision is planned not far down the road. Often these folks call and they know their hip has failed, but they start the conversation by telling me that they don't have a Rejuvenate hip. They have a Stryker hip. It's a Trident, or it's a Stryker ADM, or some other kind of implant. Some of these clients are very adamant about what they have. They say things like, "It says Trident in my medical records," or "My doctor told me that I have a Stryker ADM." They tell me over and over again they don't have a Rejuvenate, but they do have a failed Stryker hip. Well, these people could be right and wrong at the same time. Some are not easily convinced, though. One woman I spoke to in Tucson, Arizona was adamant that she had a Stryker ADM. Her story was identical to most of the other patients that we've talked to with failed Rejuvenate hips. She had it put in, and within months she started having unexplained groin pain. Her doctor did a complete workup to rule out infection, malposition, and to make sure the device hadn't come loose. All those tests were negative, just like everybody else's. She had an MRI, which showed an abnormal fluid collection around her implant. Finally, when she became wheelchair-bound, her doctor agreed to take her back to surgery to revise her hip. When he opened her up, he found a large collection of milky, thick fluid surrounding her joint. Her tissues had started to necrose. In my mind, I was convinced she had a Rejuvenate hip, but she wouldn't hear anything of it. I finally talked her into obtaining the product identification stickers from her hospital chart. She called me back later that evening, having obtained those stickers, quite surprised to find that she did in fact have an ADM Stryker ball and socket, but that the neck that connects the ball to the stem and the stem were Rejuvenate products. In another case, I received a call from a man in Minnesota, just as convinced as the lady before, that he had a Stryker Trident hip. His story was identical. After he obtained his product identification stickers, he did in fact have a Trident ball and socket, but again his stem and neck were in the Rejuvenate system line. Both of these clients had been told by their doctors that they had a Stryker device by a different name, not Rejuvenate. It turns out they did have that part of the device, but both had Rejuvenate parts as well. Since the Rejuvenate stem and neck can be used with many other Stryker balls and sockets, you have to be careful not to believe what you have read or what your doctor tells you. If there's any doubt, get the product ID stickers from your surgery chart. Those stickers will tell you exactly which implant the doctor placed inside of you. We at Searcy Denny are very committed to helping those affected by the Stryker recall. For the latest information, check back here.